Hi, this is teacher Christina here. I am a moderator in the Google Slides group. I just wanted to update my tutorial on how to use Manycam and Google Slides together in the VIPKid classroom. My last one is about a year and a half old, and some of the buttons have kind of changed on Manycam, and the way we access slides has changed as well. So here's just a quick update on how you can do this. So the first thing that you have to do is set up your Manycam. If you've never used it before, you have to do a couple things to make it work a little better in the classroom. So the first thing you need to do is go over to the video tab on the right, and you need to change it to be 480p. This makes it be more square. The default is a rectangular camera view, but you don't want that because in the VIPKid classroom, it's more square. So change it to 480p. And also, I would change your frames per second, your FPS, to be about 20. This kind of just makes it use a little less of your computer power to do that a little more smoothly, so there's a little less lag. Okay, so most people want just a normal teaching feed. So I already have mine set up just so you could see me, but I'm going to go ahead and delete that now. So when you first open Manycam, it is going to look like this. It's going to have a black screen like this, and you have to add things to it. So just push the plus sign and then your camera. And when I do that, here I am. I have my green screen turned on. There we go. I turned it off for this. So it's just going to show exactly how you are used to teaching, just your normal camera view. This is what I would use if I was just regular teaching. Okay, now I'm going to set up my second preset. My second preset is the one that I would put Google Slides on. So I'm going to we have to open some Google Slides. And an important thing to remember is when you use Google Slides in Manycam, your windows can't overlap. Nothing can be on top of each other. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to open SlideKick, which is a great way to access the slides if you're not quite ready for the Google Slides planner yet. So I'm going into SlideKick, going into lessons. I'm just going to pick a random one on here. And I am going to open a prop, which here it is. And I'm also going to go ahead and open a reward in the same window. Open. Okay. So I just picked random ones. I wasn't being too picky here. So I have here a prop and a reward. They're both open on two different tabs, but it is taking up my whole screen, which we can't have. So I'm going to push this button over here, the restore down button, which makes it smaller, and it lets me resize it however I want. But before I make it too small, let's make it big again. I want to put these in preview mode. So to put these in preview mode, look at the URL and find where it says edit about halfway through. Highlight all of the end and instead change that to say the word preview and then push enter. Now it puts it in this nice, pretty window. And I'm going to highlight this. Also type preview. So now these are both ready to go. Preview mode is a really awesome mode because it doesn't have a menu bar that comes up in front of the slides. It's a static menu bar. Okay, now we're going to restore down again. And I usually have my rewards over here. We're going to put them on the right side of my screen over here. And I'm going to shrink this down as small as I can. It's okay if it's a little longer like this, but I want it to be shrunk that way. Okay, now I'm going to open my VIPKid classroom, which I already have open. And this also cannot take up the whole screen anymore because we have to be able to see our Google Slides. So we're going to restore down. And I'm going to just scoot it over here. Resize it however you need to where you can see them both side by side. Some people put it on top and on bottom, whatever is the easiest way for you to see them. It really doesn't matter. You kind of have to play around with it and see what setup you like best. Okay, let me open Manycam again, and now we're going to actually set up our Google Slides. So on my second preset, I'm going to push the plus button, then go to desktop, And then I'm going to go to custom area. And when I click on custom area, it's going to, well, I actually have to switch to this preset first. So hover over it and cut to it. But it's going to bring up this dotted box right here on top. So the dotted box is going to show whatever is underneath it. And what we want to show is the Google Slides. So we'll drag it over here. And you're going to just reposition it, adjust the size a little bit to get it as close as you can to fitting right over the slides. So that, that is it kind of jumps around depending on your monitor, but that's a pretty good fit right there. So I'm pretty happy with that fit. Okay, so stop playing with it. I'm kind of picky, but whatever you need to do to get it to fit as good as you can. So now you can see in my window, I can click through over here on the Google Slides, and it is also clicking. It's also clicking through on the Manycam window. Okay, so now just to kind of cover myself, I like to also have myself showing. So you're going to right click anywhere in this feed, just right click and push add new layer. And when you add new layer, it brings up a box and you can push the plus sign and you will choose your camera. So now I have me showing and I have the Google Slides showing. And I would make this smaller to get myself out of the way, but still be visible. And you can actually even click on the Google Slide and scoot it up. You can scoot it up so it's at the top and then you're down underneath it. I could put me in the middle. I could add a text box that said my name. The problem is Google Slides are rectangular and the classroom is square. So they have to have, there's going to be the black space like on top and bottom like this to compensate for that space. But you can kind of be creative with that to hide it as best as you can. Okay, so now I have this ready. The last thing I have to do is set up my hotkeys. So to set up my hotkeys, I have to go to settings and then hotkeys and turn them on. So when I turn them on, that means I can now push Alt and whatever number of preset I want to go to. So if you can see, I'm not touching my mouse. I'm just using my keyboard and I'm switching. I'm pushing Alt 1 to switch to my teaching, Alt 2 to switch to my Google Slides. And I can really easily go back and forth without my student even knowing that that is happening or what I'm doing. Okay, so then we are going to go into a classroom. This is the last thing that you have to do. Go into a classroom and you have to go to settings. Go to settings and go to camera. And then you need to choose Manycam as the camera. So here is Manycam. It probably is going to default to whatever webcam you were using, but select that instead. So now, just as an example, if I was teaching class, I would be going through the slides as normal. But let's say then I'm clicking over here on the Google Slides, kind of going along, seeing what I need. And the vocab word I'm presenting to the student is class. Well, now I can select Alt 2 on my keyboard and I can show that. Really easy. I can say this is a class or whatever sentence pattern we're working with on that. Then I can go back to teaching, blah, 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 blah. And then I can click over to my reward and I can then show that to my student, just the same Alt 2 that I had before. So I can easily switch back and forth between teaching and my reward or my slide. And off to the side without them seeing, I can cycle through, see what slide I want to show next, because I don't show every single one, but I can click over here and see, oh, this is a good sentence. I want to show the kid this. I read books, and I can just click that back, or I can click over to my reward. So that is how I use Google Slides and Manycam together in my VIPKid classroom. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to help you get it set up because it really makes using Google Slides so much easier. It is a great thing to have. Okay, thank you. Thanks for listening.